Cool. What's up, everybody? How we doing today? I got some thumbs up from Brooke. Appreciate you.
Yeah, good.
Getting some thumbs up, showing up. That's good stuff. Thank you for the engagement. Oh, let's get this thing plugged in now before we get shut down in the middle. Currently in Columbus, Ohio. Buckeye game is 42-14, and I got a shameless atomic plug in Buckeye colors. So let's go Bucks. So welcome to the 21-22 season. Thrilled to have you all with us.
Okay.
We think you made a great choice joining us for skiing. We love what we do. We're pretty good at it. The culture of the team continues to amaze me every day I go to work. So welcome. Noticing some participants ramping up. We went from 23 to 26. So I'm going to talk a little bit more in case one or two other stragglers show up. Someone's got a dog as their photo. Dig that. Appreciate it. Awesome. There's Stefan. What's going on, Coach? Looks like Beckham's in the house. There's Mark. Got Coach Brian up at the top. So yep, coaches are all here. Rad. Let's get going. 27. It was worth the wait. Cool. So yeah, our team is great. It's a fun place to spend time. It's a fun place to grow as a skier. Don't remember the full story. I believe this picture on the left is Brooke and some of our young women getting ready for maybe a day at summer camp. Maybe the picture in the background on the right might be Owen and maybe some friends of ours. Alex Hackle's a good buddy of mine and some other industry professionals. So that was a good time. And then I think this bottom photo might be me. And I recognize Wyatt and everyone else's faces are kind of hard to read. But I cut my own face off. So that's my bad. Hard days of training, fun days of training. I loved this day of training because the athletes made a point to help out park crew. I think that day we had been dealing with a lot of snow over the weekend. We had been skiing a lot of powder. The kids really just wanted to ski some rails. And so after communicating with park crew, they let us come in. And the kids really spent 2 or 3 hours helping clear up terrain park, which is pretty cool. It was a nice insight to what it takes to keep the parks operating on a day-to-day basis. There was also really good powder skiing in the park when no one else was in there. So that was a fun day. And then that picture on the left is just Jack looking much younger than he is today. Jack's about 6 foot tall, plays football, may or may not be with us throughout the season. But yeah, growing up long and strong with us. So really, really funny picture if you know Jack. Struggling here to share my screen and move through. All right, cool. There we go. Woke back up. So this is a great moment for us. Last fall, Bobby Brown released a movie, gave away tons of gear, probably $10,000 worth of ski equipment, mostly to our team, which was really cool. Kind of shouted out our team as being teammates. Bobby Brown, when he was much younger, skied with us, skied with Chris, went on to obvious, greatness and Olympics. And then now is doing passion projects and is kind of a movie star. So that was a really cool night. Really cool to, hear from Bobby Brown that our team is the future. That felt great. Love these photos. Sometimes we like to win things. I think my favorite photo is of Ryan McKibben there in the top. We actually just kind of dressed him up for a photo. So he actually didn't compete. But it's funny. And then, Alex Thisted on the left looks like she would participating in the Futures Tour. However, she's holding an Encrustable like it's a medal. So it kind of goes back to what a personal podium is versus what a podium is. The Lyman family in the middle, looking great. Looks like we have 2 golds and a bronze maybe. And then I got another shameless atomic plug thanks to Walker in the bottom right. So real thrilled about that. I think this photo on the left, just a beautiful blue day in Colorado. A lot of smiles, not in the terrain park. I think everyone was just out free skiing, playing, looking good. And then here in the bottom right, Chris Carson and Bobby Brown after that movie event, which is super cool. And then I think that photo of Owen about waist deep or knee deep for him, I think was taken on the same day as the Bluebird Sky. So just, fun stuff there. So welcome to 21-22. I'm not going to spend a ton of time discussing COVID. Everyone's pretty familiar with that. So we're going to glance at COVID, but keep moving. We're going to do a little bit of cultural discussion, a little bit of competition discussion. Mostly today is going to be about our great staff, showing some photos of them, showing their backgrounds, letting them speak a little bit, and then we'll wrap it up. So as last year, COVID stress still remains real. Resort staff's probably going to be stressed out.
What's going on? So
about many things. It's never guaranteed that it's going to be COVID, but it's just one of many things to stress anyone out on any given day. This one goes without saying. Symptoms, let's know them. I'm sure we all do. Coaches have turned into COVID test fairies this year. I've probably given away maybe 100 or more COVID tests in the last month. So if for some reason you need a COVID test, let me know. I can send you home with 2 or 3. They're nice to have around. I just brought a couple to Ohio as home warming gifts, just more as a joke, but they are beneficial, and just having more information helps everyone else stay safe, stay involved, and not have these big, massive quarantines, which can happen. To go back to the multiple stress points at the resort, it's always in our best interest to disarm tense situations. Whether it's a yellow jacket at a Vail resort, a ski patroller, an angry person that's not a member of, an employee staff, but just a member of the public. Anytime things get tense, and we are a bunch of young, rambunctious people, things will get tense out there. That's the one thing I can guarantee. So anything we can do to disarm those tense situations is going to be in all of our best interests. COVID means masks. We know that. Seems like in the last year we've seen some changes. So perhaps outdoors we're maybe not going to be told to put our mask up at all times. But if a lifty or some other operator is saying, put up your mask, let's make sure that we have one. That's really easy to do. Most of us use a net gaiter anyway, so it's just something to pull up and over. But walking into and out of a restaurant, it's probably just best to keep masks around. So this is kind of probably the deepest I'm going to go into COVID. A year ago, we did not have vaccine access. Now we do. Let's go back. Vaccine access has changed dramatically in the last month. It has been approved. 5 to 11-year-olds can now get it. It's been cool to see many young people excited about it. I walked into a friend of mine's house. I've known him since I was probably 8 years old. And his daughter yesterday ran up to me and showed me her arm and said, "Look, I got my shot." And I don't know. Johnny, how old's Madison? 5 years old, so looked healthy, looked happy, proud to get it. So that was really cool. So yeah, pretty much everyone on our team is eligible at this point for a vaccine. I am not going to be the vaccine police. I do believe that vaccination is a personal choice. I will ask you as a member of the team to consider how your choices affect all of us. How they will affect us, or how they will affect you being unvaccinated, is team travel. Unfortunately, if you're unvaccinated, we are not going to be able to host you in a team van for any kind of travel. You may need a weekly test depending on what's going on. As an employee, you'll need a weekly test. These are not rules I made up. A lot of these extra costs, a lot of these extra time burdens are going to fall on you. We will need to abide by dining requirements prescribed by individual resorts. And that means at Vail, for example, if you don't have a vaccination card, you cannot walk inside to eat lunch. So on a cold day and everyone else is going inside, that's going to be painful. It's my understanding that most of the team is vaccinated. And if you are not vaccinated, or if you have a point of discussion or want to bring this up with me individually, we can do that at a later date. I'm all ears, want to talk with you, want to make sure that our policies are navigatable from every standpoint. So with that, I think we're going to go ahead and end the COVID discussion, because I think we've had a lot of time to absorb that stuff. Let's move on to some more fun things. Oh, slowing down again. Let's go back. Here we go. So on the coldest days, we will do our best to manage practice. Colorado can get super cold. Cold bodies don't focus well. Cold skis often break. Cold bones, they can break too, and cold muscles like to tear. So on really, really cold days, we're going to be modifying or changing practice, and we're going to do our best to forecast that and know when we're walking into those days. Something that you can do to help us and help yourselves is wear your team jacket, wear appropriate clothing. We run into a lot of cool looking kids who are very cold because they chose to wear a hoodie and it happens to be 15 degrees out. So let's make sure that our clothing decisions really are going to match the weather. And then for Christmas, extra layers, heated boots, hand warmers, heated socks, all those things are great. Hiking rails is another really great way to warm up. You know, it doesn't take but maybe 4 or 5 trips up the same rail to land a new trick, feel good about yourself, and get warmer at the same time. So we're not looking to take a bunch of days off as much as we're just trying not to see a bunch of people miserable for hours and hours and hours. So at about the 10-degree mark, we're going to maybe be looking to modify some times here and there. If there's an hour or so of cold, we'll probably, proceed business as usual. But if for some reason the high on the day is forecasted to be 6, look for a change from us. When possible, we can run into the barn. But unfortunately, that idea everyone's going to have too. So we're going to need to make sure that we get there early when possible. So to flip that on us, on the warmest of days, man, slow. We have really great training in May, in June, July, and August. I think some of the team members skied at Copper Mountain August 14th this year. August 13th or August 14th was our last day on snow. That's incredible. So these May camps, June camps, July, August, this stuff we want to talk about now with you just to keep it on your radar. It's really great training. Copper goes out of their way to give us wonderful jumps all these months, private terrain parks, and that's really special. So while, yes, we're talking about the cold, we want to talk about the warm too. As this next summer rolls on, we're going to try to tap back into some more summer camp type models. The snowboard team went to the wakeboarding park in Fruta. They were telling me all about the wake skiing that was happening there. And it was just looked like a great time. So I think we're definitely trying to plan something like that. And then when possible, we do want to start looking at the Southern Hemisphere, perhaps Europe, for some fall training camps. That's just a really cool part of the sport, that it doesn't necessarily end. We just follow the hemispheres. Talk about competitions really quickly. Paul is our regional series US ASA director, and he is usually really great about getting the schedules up. Paul's schedules are up, and I believe all the events are open for registration, including the Futures Tour. Many of you with Futures Tour, we have talked already. We can continue that discussion at a later date. You can ping me with more Futures questions. But for the regional stuff, I believe the events are open. We're going to really look to support all of the regional slope style, half pipe, and ski cross events as coaches. We may look at subsidizing or trying to do an alternative event in the Aspen series instead of Winter Park, but coaches and I still are connecting on that. But if you are to go and look in some other series like Aspen series or the Southwest series, it's likely that, their schedule is not up yet. And so with that said, be patient with those series directors as they get going. Last year, we had some new competition formats. We had some expedited practice sessions, some masks. I think USASA was kind of doing their best to mitigate COVID, no spectators, stuff like that. So we're hoping that perhaps some of the no spectator stuff can ease up a little bit this year and we can start watching each other compete again. But as always, we really want to value the training days together over the competition days. At our age, each day that we spend focused on skiing for the love of skiing will only help us as a competitor. And so we encourage you to remember that training together will always be more important to us as coaches than some competition results. Our coaching philosophy is to develop life skills through consistent progress in fun and challenging environments while creating a passion for skiing. In order for us to do that, everyone on this team is responsible for cultivating a culture of safety, process-based learning or training, a positive growth mindset, and having fun. Those four, pinnacles of what we do or how we do it define us as a culture, and that's really, really fun. A big part of all goal setting is using the SMART model. So specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. And that's a really, really important way to think about goal setting, especially when we use one additional model, process versus outcome goals. When you think about specific and measurable goals, often those can be outcome goals. But when you can come up with a process to develop your specific measurable goals, and that process is specific and measurable as well, now all of a sudden our goal setting has a roadmap, a pathway, and it does become measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. And so this is a really, really fun way to think about goal setting. And then we're going to do questions at the end, but for bonus points, would someone please unmute themselves and tell me what a personal podium is? Yeah, and go for it, Mark.
My coach always said back in the day, if you skied your best that day, then that's all you could have done, like you did your best.
Totally. And so think back to those days. What might a personal podium that perhaps could be specific or measurable, what would one of those look like back then for you?
Say you landed a cork 9 for the first time that week and you did it in your comp run.
Okay.
There's a huge win for you.
And doing it at a comp run, like there's a chance that you could land on a podium. But doing it under pressure, doing it for the first time, that's like that moment of personal success that you do want to celebrate, that with or without a medal around your neck is super important, right? The amount of confidence, all of a sudden, cork 9, ski in hand, blunt grab, that's amazing. Like that, we're proud of that. So a personal podium is something worth talking about, worth sharing. Often personal podiums might become Instagram feed stories, right? But personal podiums are kind of the meat and the potatoes of why we show up to ski every day. Because every single day is not a competition, but every single day you do have the opportunity to do something really, really cool. And so personal podiums are really a big part of what we're trying to celebrate as we develop. Just a couple funny things here. Helmets are cool. Yep. Wear one. This is all just kind of for us to laugh a little bit, but unless you're a French mountain guide, a really weathered ski instructor, Klaus Obermeyer, or Billy the Kid, like, let's make sure that we're wearing a helmet. If you don't know who all those people are, that's okay. Helmets are warm. They do prevent brain damage. No whining. So let's not complain about the cold, about wax, about goggles fogging or boots hurting or old injuries. Masks, that's another one. Like, let's just not do it. We are out there skiing and working out together. That's a great thing. Let's keep that as the primary focus. Don't get too caught up. Let's really make sure that we take everything out there with a grain of salt. I love this comment. The point is to recreate, not to get bent out of shape over someone else's idea of what skiing should be. If everyone played by the rules, we would not have fat skis. We would not have rockered skis. We would not have twin tip skis. Every ski boot would be mandatory, uncomfortable. None of this stuff is worth being worked up over that it affects your good time or someone else's good time because you or me happen to be overly concerned with what skiing should be. And if criticism does not affect you, you might be the Dalai Lama. You might be a liar. So yes, every single one of us is going to feel criticized or is going to share something. But we have the freedom together out there to have fun. You have the freedom out there to be silly. You have the freedom to not worry that everyone's judging you. And your coaches are here to continue to offer advice. Don't get too caught up in skiing. It's just not worth it. We do it for fun. So a lot of that I just fully plagiarized from Ski Magazine years ago. And the reason that I bring that up now is that free ski coaching is a blend of so many people's ideas, concepts, things that have worked, things that haven't worked. We are still constantly writing the educational platform from which this sport is launched from ski cross to park and pipe skiing to rail jams in the backyard to who knows what else we come up with, right? But the long answer is that we have amazing coaches, and every single one of these coaches is going to be plagiarizing some and is going to be adding some of their own original sauce. And together as a giant staff, we're really strong. We all value education and enthusiasm. Collectively, we have decades of experience. I am not sure. I did not count up the amount of hours that we've all done this, but it's a lot. Our full-time staff communicates frequently about every single athlete. Weekend, part-time, full-time, drop in. A couple athletes ski with us maybe a couple days a year, but we're still invested in caring about them. We have really new and exciting part-time staff, and they are really a big part of how we're going to grow. We brought them on mostly because of their heart, because of their passion. That is kind of the biggest key for me is how excited is someone to work with us, and everyone working with us is fired up about it. So that is great. One coaching voice, one coaching staff. We love what we do and we have fun doing it. So now we're going to kick into talking to some of these people because I talked a lot, and if you're not tired of hearing me yet, I'm getting a little tired of talking. So I'm going to pass the ball right over to our head coach. Brooke, can you please unmute yourself?
Hi, everybody. I think I've met most of you here. If not, I'm Brooke Potter. I am one of the head academic coaches, and I've also taken on a new role as the assistant human performance coach. Read through this slide. Yeah, I grew up on Team Summit. That's something some of you may not know. I started on Alpine, then moved to moguls, and then park and pipe. So Team Summit's kind of a home for me since I was probably like 8 or 9 years old. So it's kind of cool to see it full circle and now be a coach. I love rails, definitely my favorite. And yeah, I like to definitely have fun on hill, keep it positive, and artist model, street skier. Yeah, still doing some filming and all that. So this season I'll be filming a project I'm pretty excited about, which I haven't even told Teddy and Stefan about. So yeah, I'll do a little bit of filming this season. I've been working on something with a filmer that we'll put together. And I wanted to talk a little bit about my role as the assistant human performance coach. So that kind of ties in a lot of fitness, nutrition, things that we really need to be the best athletes possible. It ties into our athletic performance. I ran some of the workouts this fall, and I actually take my certification for the course I'm taking this upcoming week. So hoping to pass that, and then I'll be a fully certified personal trainer. And we just wrapped up our preseason workouts, which had a lot of strength focus. And we are now moving in and transitioning into our competition season, which is like the bulk of our year. So any of the workouts that I'm writing up isn't going to be like strength. It's going to be really focused on maintaining our strength. But what I'm really trying to write these workouts focusing on is injury prevention. There is a lot of science behind things we can actively be doing to keep us in the best possible situation for preventing injuries on hill. So a lot of core stabilization, a lot of work throughout the season. The goal is for these workouts during the season not make us sore, but to keep us strong and healthy. So I'm going to be sending out some resources over the next couple weeks, just a couple active recovery workouts that you can do at home throughout the season. Lots of like stretching, foam rolling, things that are just going to keep us on our like top athletic performance. And especially during those really intense competition weeks, that's kind of what I'm aiming to do with this new role that I've taken on. So if any of you have any questions on fitness, workouts, nutrition, anything in that realm, you all, I think, have my email. It's just brooke@teamsummit.org. So I'm happy to chat about anything, and I'll be sending out some resources soon. That's all I got.
Sweet photos of Brooke. I'll give you like 30 seconds on that page. A lot of our emails are really tough. Brooke's got a hard one, brooke@teamsummit.org.
You just have to remember it's Brooke with an E.
Brooke with an E. Send her an email if you like. Definitely think about ways that we can use her new skills. Her workouts have been hurting me, so I know Alex too. Moving into Stefan. Be patient with my old computer. Thank you very much. It's getting the job done, but blew right through Stefan. All right, Steph, you're up, man.
All right. I'm stoked. This is my first season coaching for Team Summit. But I've been coaching for about 15 years. Park and pipe specific. Did some big mountain in there. Some racing in there. I ran a program in India for a while for 3 seasons, and now it's running on its own. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, that program is cool because it's still going now. There's like 200 kids in the program each year, and they're skiing in the Himalayas and in India. So that's fun. But yeah, I'm super excited. I used to compete, travel the world competing slope style, mostly the open competitions. It was before anything was FIS. But that was really fun too. Slope style is kind of my jam. I loved half pipe too, but I never did it at as high of a level, just up to nationals at USASA. Yeah, I grew up in Summit County. I tell people I used to pedal my tricycle down Main Street Breck, and it was fine. And now that's like insane. You can never do that now. Yeah, and I raced for a long time. My dad was a a racer, and he coached actually with Summit Race Team before it was Team Summit. And so I grew up racing. And then I was about 13 or 14 and started doing slopestyle because they wouldn't let me do downhill. Yeah, I love the science of skiing, the science of the body, and even like cellular metabolism. If you want to get really nerdy, that I like that stuff. And psychology, psychoanalysis, things about the psyche. And yeah, definitely movement patterns. I'm very analytical, and nothing will escape my critical eye. But it is a loving critical eye. Yeah. And I have a family. I have a daughter. She's gonna be 2 in a couple weeks. What else? I'm psyched. This is gonna be sweet.
Just elaborate a little bit more on India. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I was like, it was right after I stopped competing slopestyle, and I was like, what do? I might not even ski anymore. I don't know what's gonna happen. And it was like I had been pretty selfish with my skiing. And so that's kind of a dark place to be. So I was like, what do? I don't know. And then this opportunity came up. This school was there in Kashmir, in Srinagar. And they're like, we want to revamp a ski program and start it from the ground up. So me and a buddy went over there and coached some coaches and coached some kids. And that school has a ski program that's super healthy, going strong. I mean, they need some equipment, obviously, and they're scrapping stuff together. And but it's in the Himalayas. The skiing is amazing. You guys might have seen Gulmarg in some ski movies. That's where we were. They get like 6 feet of snow in a day, and then you can go ski it. It's on 14,500 foot peaks. So it's really cool.
That's so cool, man. I've always been inspired by that story, so I'm so glad that you're able to share it here.
Yeah.
Stefan or Stefan, he doesn't mind either way. I'm from Ohio and currently in Ohio, and Ohioans have a way of butchering all things in English. So he'll forever forgive me for saying Stefan or Steph. Here's his phone number. He's got another tough email. Don't feel like you have to scramble and write all this stuff down. We do have a handbook coming your way. I needed to button up a few additional emails, change a year, but it's coming your way shortly, as well as a handbook direct from the U.S. ski team, specifically about ski cross. So please, whatever discipline you're involved in, take time reading both handbooks. The one handbook is a labor of love from the coaching staff. If you've ever written a handbook, it takes some time and thought. So please use that as a resource, a living, breathing document that we will refer to back as coaches, and that you can refer back to and help your teammates with as they ask questions. We're always available for questions, but we do try to handle and cover as much as we can season to season in that handbook. Up next, I believe, is Coach Jesse. We'll get there. She's an old girl. She's still working. Thank you, computer. Cool. Jesse, he's our.
All right.
Go ahead.
What's up, man? Hi, everybody. I'm Jesse. Some of you know me. Some of you, I'm sure, don't, but you will. This is my second season with the team. And I taught at Keystone a couple years before that. Originally from the East Coast. I'm from New Jersey. So I skied like Poconos, a little bit of Vermont out there. I actually started snowboarding first and then switched to skiing kind of like, I guess, a little bit later in life, but certainly haven't looked back. All my kids came back from last year. That's extremely exciting. That was my first experience coaching. So I guess if you use numbers to determine it, I guess I did a good job or they had a lot of fun. So I'm excited to see them move up, go up with Brooke or Teddy or somebody else. To the other coaches, nice to meet you. I have to agree with Stefan that my critical eye of analyzing movement is something I'm really fond of. I love watching movement and trying to think about ways to build in small steps, how to get better and everything like that. And then I guess I just wanted to touch on what Teddy had said and our executive director, CB, talks about, and that we ski for fun, and it is a ton of fun. But being an athlete on a team isn't just about having fun and skiing. We're a character development program, and the skills we implement with them, they carry on for the rest of their lives. If you don't go pro, it's fine. They have discipline, grit, teamwork, everything like that. So I'm really excited for the season. I hope you guys are too. See who's on my team this year. I like that hype, man. Oh yeah, the cocktail master. That's funny. That's a small business I started this past summer. I spend my summers in New Jersey. I have younger brothers, so I don't want to miss out, So I renovated an old 1970s camper into a mobile bar. I do weddings, bachelorette parties. So I got family in Jersey, shameless plug here, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much it. My email is a little more complicated, I guess. I got a couple more letters in there. I don't know. There's another Jesse. I haven't met him. I got to take that first email back.
Sweet. Up next, Mark. Welcome to the team, dude. Really thrilled to be working with you. Mark's email went live about 25 minutes ago, so we'll get that updated on all of our information and shared with you. Mark, please tell us about yourself.
What's up? Yeah, I'm Mark Spinney from New Hampshire. Love skiing more than anything. I don't know. I've done light coaching over the last few years. This will be my first real coaching gig for a whole season. I've helped coach the CVA kids. That's a Carabasset Valley Academy. And when they come out to Colorado, I usually help coach. But yeah, super pumped to start working with all you and share some of the coaching, or not coaching, but skiing knowledge that I have. Yeah, I competed before FIS was a thing also. I don't know. I like to do rail jams. If there's ever local events, I'll definitely do those, but probably not anymore this year if I'm going to be coaching. I don't want to freaking steal it from the kids. But yeah, I used to race back in the day. So clean edge control, clean rolling the edges, that feels just as good as a cork 7 to me. So yeah, fundamentals, they were seriously drilled into me when I was a young skier. And I'm super grateful for all of that hardcore fundamental drilling. Yeah. I'm gonna.
You're doing great.
I'm gonna try to teach the kids all the nuanced little things that I think of when I'm skiing. There's ways you can look at a switch 270 that just make it so much easier than just trying it blindly. So yeah, I think just my natural passion for skiing and all of the hype I have for skiing is just going to rub off on these kids and just keep them super pumped every hour of the day. Yeah. I love skiing so much. So I'm ready to tear it up with these little guys and girls.
Thrilled to have Mark with us. For those of you who don't know, Carabasset Valley is, in a lot of ways, does the same thing that we do here at Team Summit. They just do it on the East Coast, and they've been doing it a tad longer from the academy standpoint. So Mark came up through one of the longest established ski academies. That's super, super cool. I think he's won the Silverthorne Rail Jam 2 or 3 years in a row. So Mark, I mean, you might as well just keep going until someone knocks you off, is my opinion. But
No.
I know. So
I can't do it anymore. But
do whatever you need to. But thrilled to have him. So he'll be a great addition.
I'm thrilled to be here.
So we'll keep moving. And I forgot I'm in this. So that's a problem. You heard me talk a lot. So I'm going to be really, really fast. I have been living here in Summit County, even though I'm in Ohio. That's fun to say. Since 2007. I do own a dog. I do like chocolate milk. I am a U.S. free skiing coach's educator, which is a really fun role. I wear many hats. I'm a ski dork. I'm the commissioner. I have a box below this up. I'm an agent, sometimes a secret agent. I like skiing and long walks at the beach. Shocker there. There's my dog. That's the summertime ski photo. And then the U.S. ski team made me take this really cheesy photo of myself and some goggles and a ski. So a little embarrassed and a little bit proud of that free ski development of the year coach. So that's fun. Ski cross though, this is really what I kind of want to start talking about. It does sound sometimes like we are all about park and pipe, but ski cross falls under USASA, and ski cross is a badass sport. And so for those reasons, we are ski cross teammates. Ski cross in general, for those of you brand new to park and pipe skiing who don't know what ski cross is, it might be a nice way for you to cross train. Just as Mark was saying, smooth, clean, strong edge lines. Ski cross is a great way to develop that. Imagine roller derby on skis. It's super fun. We love seeing our youngest competitors cross training in park and cross. The national championship, as I mentioned, is held via USASA. They are now doing Futures Tour for ski cross. That is a brand new addition to the tour this year, and it is probably worth a discussion as many of our ski cross athletes become eligible about age 13. There will be some training and travel involved, and so we don't have to make a decision on this today. But if you want more information or want to talk about it, just chat, let me know. That's a quick email. Copper is amazing. They have supported us. They continue to support us. They're probably one of the few places in the West Coast or the nation that are really, ramping up their involvement with ski cross. Our new coach is named Brian Connolly, and he's super awesome, equally passionate as the rest of these folks. So Brian, I'm going to pass the ball to you now.
Sounds great. My name is Brian Connolly. I come from Wisconsin. Lived up here in Summit County the last 20 years. Did some coaching through college, but we all know what that is, just college-y kind of stuff. I went to the Men's Pro Tour in 97, raced there for a while, competed with them. Then that kind of went defunct, and that brought me to skier cross because there was nothing else. So I got into skier cross, and I sure love it. Love talking about it with people, love watching it. It just gives you so many answers in life, competing in skier cross. Yep, and there's some photos. The top right one is me taking the lead at nationals here at Copper. But then I buttered a turn later in the course, so I got taken into third. But that happens in racing. That's okay. Had a great day. Yeah, so excited to teach kids how to be fast and all the little tricks in a course where you can find just a baby bit of speed just to get you a little faster than your competitor. It's really fun. I have a good time teaching it. Any questions or anything? Teddy, you can hear me, correct?
Yep, it's all good, man. Running Zoom's
Okay.
on. There's sometimes people are on screen and you see them react, and sometimes people are off screen, and so you do feel like you're talking into a window.
That's okay. Just want to make sure I'm doing it correctly.
We do want to take this time. We are doing great on time. We want to take maybe another 5 minutes and open it up for questions, comments, concerns, feedback, pizza recipes, whatever you guys really feel like sharing. We would love to just hear up from some of you. So get at us. How can we open the floor up to some questions? Go ahead and unmute yourself or use the chat.
Okay, I have a little bit of a punishment from last season.
Oh,
Um,
why don't you pause on that one and we'll come back.
Pause on that one. Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Holly, Walker's mom. I just want to say congratulations and welcome to the team, Brian. I know that we're all super stoked to have you on board and just really want you to feel a warm welcome.
Great. Well, thank you. I'm excited.
Alyssa asked how often gate training is for ski cross. Alyssa, that's a great question, and we are going to need to get into the season and see what the lay of the land is at Copper as far as what types of opportunities we will have. I believe that there will be plenty of opportunities for gate training. But I'm not gonna, I want to take another day or two. Excuse me. I want to take another moment to get into the season and just get to know each other before we start promising or practicing how many days we're going to spend in gates versus free skiing, especially while terrain remains limited. But I promise we'll develop a pattern which will make a lot of sense. Someone wants me to go back a slide or two. This one? Cool. Someone's asking about day 1 and 2 or so. So we are going to start training after Copper opens on the 22nd. We're probably going to be looking for the weekend after Thanksgiving, which I realize is not ideal. I had a hard time pushing training all the way into December. I had to do that last year. If we had the opportunity to get together for a few hours the weekend after Thanksgiving, we're going to do that. I'm going to be sending you all a schedule shortly and building out our real calendar for both ski cross and park and pipe as we get moving. So imagine that day 1 or 2 are going to be a casual free ski day, getting to know each other, avoiding traffic, doing our best to communicate well, have a good time, and go home safe. One of the biggest challenges as a ski coach in the preseason is that Mother Nature just did not get the memo that we all want to go skiing. And so when so many of us want to go skiing, yet the terrain is so limited, trying to run effective drills works against the traffic pattern of the masses. And so when we're out there, especially in the early season, we're really trying to keep each other safe, ski with our heads on a swivel, and go home. So Tom, for our first few days, we're going to be getting to know each other through free skiing. And as more terrain opens up, closed terrain environment becomes a reality, like what they're doing up at Copper right now with start gate training. We will break out into a little bit more focused days of bring a GS ski or bring a free ski. I hope that is a clear picture for what to expect on day 1 or day 2. Casual free skiing, staying safe, getting to know each other. The chat is doing great. And someone says, Brian, go Packers, go.
Yay.
Been in Summit since 94. Welcome from the Abbeys. Super cool. We'll say the Packers had a rough week.
Yeah.
He's back. Mr. Rogers is back. So off the disabled list or whatever they're going to call it.
Yep, I think they freed him Saturday today.
There we go. Any other questions before we hang this thing up? Park and Pipe family's pretty quiet. Will Brian be there tomorrow?
Is it
Absolutely.
my time to
Yes.
shine?
Absolutely.
Alex, you can say hello and tell us where you're from, and then we'll just leave it at that, okay?
Okay. Hi, Rippers.
You got to come off screen, bud. You got to show your face, say hello, and then we'll hang it up for the evening.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Alexander. I'm from Texas. Yeehaw, Rippers.
All right. So thanks for sharing. Thanks for showing up. Have a great afternoon or evening. It's getting dark here. But I'll be back home in less than 24 hours. So excited to see you all this week. Cool.
Great.
See ya.
Thank you.
Thanks.